Hello, everyone, and welcome to another night of D&D. I don't really have words. I don't really have words to quite adequately, prepare y'all for today, because it's a new chapter. We are officially on chapter 4 of the Mark of a God campaign, and it's leading up to a war. So never really strategized or planned for war before in a campaign. So we'll see how this goes. I think our group can handle it. They're smart. That's the word for it, right? They're intelligent. They've got strong intelligence scores. Most of them. And look at that wisdom. I'm certain we'll make it out of this A-okay. Or die trying. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to our D&D night. My name is PsycheSiren, and I am so excited. I look forward to these Thursdays every week, y'all. Every week. Now, as I say usually, audio belongs to the party, but we will be typing away in chat. It's just, we don't want to get distracted while we're role-playing and being ridiculous, and then someone says poggers in chat, But yes, hello Mitchie, hello South Apple, hello Dark. Hi to the bot. Oh my god, why did we give it sentience? Why? That was a very, very bad decision of ours. But yes, if any of you want to do !party, it'll bring up the command that tells you all about these lovely people and what they play. And I think we also have commands for if you would like to roll some dice of your own in the chat. But without further ado, let us join the wonderful Mark of a God Phoenix Squadron. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
You're here just in time to learn of Vladislav the Poker.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You heard us.
Hi.
Hi! Hello, everyone! Did you know this is a new chapter in our campaign? We're officially on chapter 4, episode 1!
Woo!
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 Evolve
where Star
to a
Wars
full,
starts getting good.
or you could say this is where the fun begins.
Oh, no!
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the freak show.
It's getting freaking in here.
This is where the fun begins.
Why are we getting freaky? Why?
Why not?
I mean, we're riding off to war. What are you supposed to do before war? Not get freaky?
I'm getting freaky before war, you know what I'm
You talk tactics on the ride.
saying?
Well, you're
Oh,
still in your
God.
town with your lovely demigod girlfriend. You have to take the chance to get freaky.
Yep.
Oh, not all of us have relationships like you!
You do.
Colin's going through a hard time.
Let's go through a dry spell.
Some would say many.
Okay.
She met somebody.
Somebody has to gift me a new sub because mine ran out, and I don't like spending money.
How about we
People
go
are
ahead
always
and
like,
introduce
you're like-
ourselves?
I'm not subscribed to my own Twitch channel.
Starting with the person asking for a sub.
Hey there, guys, it's me, your boy, Corvin Blur here on a new any percent resurrect the town speed run. So first, you're gonna go cast Blight in Town Square, invite everyone to a party, and then they'll all die. What you're gonna want to do is we're gonna use an exploit with a resurrection ability you get at the Standing Stone right outside of Whiterun, where those corpses don't disintegrate after they die.
Oh
So what
my
you're gonna do is you're gonna
God.
bring people to life, and every time you create more corpses, you wait, and then you get to all of your zombies die, but then you get to raise all those new ones, and you have an even bigger army.
Welcome to
Now, if you're
Necromancy
on a
Tips
lower-
101 with Corvin.
If you're on a PC and you're playing Skyrim Special Edition, this might not go off very well, but I think, if you just turn your setting down a wee bit, you can get this done.
Also, great. Thank you for gifting that subscription, but not to Bevan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought I was like, oh no, yeah, just gift, and then you get to pick who you gift it to. No, that's not how that works.
They're random, so unless you do it like specific, but whatever. You're number one right now.
Oh my God. And next up,
Oh, and you can find me on Roll the Roll.
yeah.
Yes.
We have Diz. Hello.
Hi. How are you? I am back from the madness that I've caused for a week. Hi. How's everybody doing? I'm Diz. You can find me over at twitch.tv/DizCam, where I run the dive and speak the good word
Don't.
of the taco chicken.
You little bitch, no.
Okay, I'm done. I'm over it. Either way, yeah, come on by and we'll hang out. I play Luya down there, that dashing guy with the beard and the mustache and that little tuft of hair coming down in front of his face, with the super low voice and serious attitude. Yeah, I love playing this game. Glad to have you here, guys. Thanks for being here. Love you,
I
Psyche.
can't believe you brought up wing tacos into our D&D stream.
Why would you do that? They got bones in it.
Ooh,
Take out the
potato
bones.
taco.
Don't,
Hey,
we're
just take a
not.
punt.
Keep it to the stream team Discord. We're not doing this today. Acorns actually made them and ate
You
them.
did.
I'm
Said
so
they were
mad. I'm so mad.
Bones in it.
Right, Michi? They're good.
But we're talking about other things. Like, who's next? Is that me? Am I next?
Yeah, you're next.
You're next.
Yes, you're next.
That's why I was
I
like,
like
right,
that
Michi?
she's like, let's talk about better things. Me.
I ignored the whole conversation because it was stupid. I was like, but they got bones in them, so go away.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Witty Mitchie.
Hi,
I play-
Mitchie.
Hi, Michi.
I play Mew, the cat girl.
That's
Bye.
okay, Mitchie.
Well,
It can be a problem. She apparently gives very wholesome advice and then rips it away with not so wholesomeness.
Oh, no.
I think it's a balancing act. She's working on it. I don't quite remember what the advice she was giving Luya last week, but I know that everyone was like, "Wow," and then I said something else, and they're like, "Ah."
a double-edged sword.
I just
so
I love that in
Mhm.
chat they're bringing up the stink finger, by the way, and it just reminded me of Mew's reaction to Luya getting money out of the chamber pot. That was
No.
hilarious.
Mew is still not okay.
I don't think Louis is okay either.
No, Luya doesn't care is the problem.
I've accepted my fate.
Like the way you guys are reacting, it clearly shows that either A, you've never been a parent, which I mean is probably true, or B, you've never been like a much older sibling and had to change younger
No,
siblings.
see, listen, Bevan. It wasn't just you put your hands in to get it out. He had to go through several layers that Teeth Whitener described in detail, and he had to roll several times to sift through the layers. It was like a 20-minute thing. It wasn't just I searched
like
the chamber
5
pot.
minutes.
She did have to dig.
I
You
worked
think
for
you
those 2 gold
dug
coins.
through.
2 gold coins is 2 gold coins. That's all I'm saying.
Pretty sure they were silver.
It was
What?
gold.
They were
It was
gold. They were
gold.
gold.
Okay,
There you go.
okay.
I wrote them down.
Next.
I should have made them. I should have made them copper.
It's gonna be a dig.
Totally worthless.
Great.
Nice.
Please tell them about yourself so we can change the subject.
Hi, I'm Grand Arl. I am one of our multiple resident D&D nerds. I'm definitely addicted. I'm not even gonna lie about it anymore. I do stream sometimes when I get the chance, mostly on weekends. It's like a weird variety, but I have fun, so hopefully you'll have fun if you come watch. I play Coldus Blashur, our fearless leader and mighty warrior. He's a battlemaster fighter, trained in the way of the great sword, and
No, it's an okay.
he is getting ready for war. Like, oh man, I've been practicing speeches all day. Let's go.
Yes.
It's your turn, Nighty.
Oh, hi, I'm Night Owl 35. Most people call me Nighty. It's been a week. I play Tofine, the half-elf ranger that got kidnapped by Mew, much like in real life.
Your mic is a little staticky.
A little crackly.
Yeah, we just put this one on, so I will try and figure out how to work with it.
You
Okay.
got it. Dark
Good
says
to
it's
hear your
the
voice,
voice
Nighty.
changer thingy. Oh, the thing you have during your streams.
Yeah, voice mod's been a problem ever since its
Mhm.
latest update. So
Agreed.
Freaking computers, man. That's so dumb. But yeah,
That's why I avoided the update. I didn't update it this time. Either way, sorry.
Nighty also streams. You can catch her at twitch.tv/nightowl35 because she's not shouting herself out. It's in the
Of course
chat.
I'm not, I'm trying to fix things. Also, why would I shout myself out? It's rude.
Thank you, Richie.
It's customary to have someone else just shout out the person speaking.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Hello everyone. You've already found me. Good job. Kind of creepy, but good job. I stream here at twitch.tv/PsycheSiren. I've just been shouted out. Thank you, T-Twiner. Son of a gun.
Someone has to do it.
It's my own channel.
It is tradition.
You've already found me. Good job. T-Twiners are DM and my husband, so if you hear banter, we're okay. We're fine. This is our dynamic. I'm playing Colette, our disaster cleric tiefling, who just wants to be noticed by her senpai one day. Maybe one day. Maybe her god will notice her.
Disaster cleric tiefling. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Accurate.
she's gotten a lot better at healing, though. I've done more healing than murder, which is new for me. I hope it doesn't stay this way.
Yes, you picked an interesting form of cleric to be doing healing. So,
Murder.
it do be like that.
It's her love
occasionally.
language. I mean, so she shows
Murder
she
is your
cares.
love language?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much in the sense of, hey, is that guy over there a problem? I'll kill him for you.
See, the other tiefling gets it. Teethwiner, tell them about you.
Oh, hi, folk. The legend of the stream continues. I am Teeth Whitener. You can call me Mr. DM Daddy, or you don't have to do that.
Calls you Mr. DM Daddy. Who? Sorry, I didn't mean to get so
Or you
aggressive.
don't have to do that. It is an option that's
Be
available.
supportive of
for
your
you.
husband.
It's an option that is provided to you.
Don't
I
tell
am
people
the
to call you
DM.
DM
I
Daddy.
didn't. I told them they
Speaking
can.
of spousal abuse, poor Corinne today had to hold the ladder while I was climbing up to clean out our gutters. But remember, most ladders are weighted for like 300 pounds, and I'm 6'2" and like 320 pounds. So every time I climbed the ladder, she almost had a heart attack that it was gonna snap. Well, because it's a folding, like it's one of the ones that can either be like folded and you stand on it, or you can extend it really long.
Yeah.
So
Doing
you
that ladder
in the
flex
middle
thing.
part, she's like, "Oh no."
Oh my god.
The
Teeth,
important part is they're
yes.
clean.
Teeth, please continue.
Anyway,
Sorry.
hello, and welcome. I am the master of the teeth, and I am the master of the dungeon. You may call me whatever you please, as long as it's not Mr. Teeth Whitener. That's my dad's name.
No, it's not.
Either way, welcome. I will be your host as we traverse this land of violence and filth and hatred.
What?
Welcome to Rayamarin, Mark of a God, Phoenix Squadron Campaign, Chapter 4, The Child and Stranger of Heaven, Rische. Episode 1, The Stormshield. 1,000 windless years upon these plains, the stillness of the gods' departure. The storm has departed, blessed are we, the fool cries. Though high winds break not the oaken bough, the lightning burns not the harvest. The lightning lords cannot avert their gaze from sin, nor will hearts of thunder forever sleep. And while we danced midst countless cloudless nights, the maelstrom grew and waited. Echoes of Ascension, circa 750 LA. Margrave of the Cerulean Forest. Before we continue, I would ask that our resident historian give a brief synopsis of the previous night's events.
Thank you. So, in last session, we went through scouring the camp and searching for various bits of treasure and information that the orcs had. See, we noticed that siege weapons were scattered around the camp, and they reminded us of something that Orthag, the war priest of the orcs, said before the battle began. Some new age coming shortly there within. And we find out later, after going through the chief's tent, that there is a wedding to be had that will unify multiple different tribes of orcs. And after this unification of the orc tribes, they are to aid the Empire in their conquest over the cities of Milan. We hurry back to the city of Brendikberg as quickly as we can in order to bring the Raven to justice and get the rescued soldiers back home safely. Upon arriving, we find out that the city that we were going to, Ettenfast, has been taken over by the Empire swiftly over the course of a few days, if not a single night. It was the military leadership was decimated, and the city was taken without any casualties. The only standing bastion of the nation of Milan that is left is the city of Leech. And the news of the war coming and finding out that upon reading a note, finding out that after the new year, both armies, the orcs and the Empire, were to march on Rische. The clock has been set. It is a battle against time for us to make our way to Rische, train these few soldiers that we have, and to mount a defense for the protection of the Kingdom of Milan.
Very good. Thank you, historian. The story begins on Frigith, the 30th of Viken, 2137. Though the day was Surferian Fell, the last day of winter and the old year, also known as the Festival of Droplets. The morning was no warmer than the day before. No silver snowflakes warily drifted from the clouds above, and the clouds in question still loomed high overhead, an unending sheet of thick gray gauze. These heavenly blankets would keep the fullness of the sun from bathing the earth below, dispersing its rays to the edges of the sky, coloring the early morning with a sort of half-light, neither bright nor dim. Those of Veltian blood, Colette and Caldus, would no doubt have heard in their youth that such clouds at the start of a year were a bad omen, a sign that the avenging god of ice, Nint, had judged the mortals below and found them unrepentant. Better hope that was just some old superstition, not a kernel of truth. The dark gathers. One of you mutters. Those with imperial blood would have heard that the half-light was an open book from the gods. Your future, you see, had not yet been decided. The light pushed and the dark pulled. Perhaps another might retort. But who's to say whether the pulling of darkness is for the worse, for the better? Regardless, despite what the solar entity may have deemed the start of spring, the winter had yet to breathe its last, and would likely continue on a few weeks yet.
So, I'm guessing
you
we're
do?
all at the house. Oh. Teeth.
Well,
Sorry, were you doing your intro still?
Before we can make any preparations on heading out to Riche, we do still have the Raven that we need to deal with.
Yes.
So, are you done doing your intro, Teeth? Are
Yeah, I'm
are we
done.
at the house? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it's like morning. We've all woken up, or
Mhm.
did we just arrive?
You've woken up.
Okay.
Or at the battle table, just the morning table.
Also, another question. There's been a time skip, right, between this last episode and this one?
No, it's just been like a day.
Oh, okay. Because when I was talking to you, I was like, okay, never mind. I was just making sure.
No, nothing has happened.
Okay.
You went to bed.
There was a few days of travel from being at the camp and getting into town, but other than that, no dramatic time shift.
Okay.
Louis is waking up slowly, wandering about, trying to find something that resembles coffee.
Also, Bevan, I don't think we told you this, but we still have the serial killer with us, and he's been in the basement with you and the skeletons. Well, not you, but the skeletons digging out the hole.
Oh, so he's like building my room?
Yeah, we put him to work.
Yeah. He helping. He's
He
super
probably
pleased.
didn't do much help.
We did break his wrists, so I mean.
He's digging with his stumps.
If anything,
cut off
We
his
gave him
wrists.
we gave him a spoon for him to hold in his mouth, and he's just like trying to scrape by.
He's just chink.
We're pretty sadistic, aren't we? Oh no.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
in any case, Coldus will march down into the basement, grab the Raven, make sure he is shackled and tied up or whatever, bring him up, and then as everyone wakes up and then comes to the table, the Raven is here, sitting on the couch or something. It's like we have him, we can take him away once we figure out what we're doing for the day.
Colette's hair is still kind of messy. She was planning on sleeping in. Before Caldus had like the family meeting with the serial killer at the table. Oh, that's right. He's still here. Well,
Time is short and we have much to do.
Well, you're not wrong. I've never prepared for a war before. But I suppose this is our number one to-do list of the day.
If I remember correctly, Teeth, the note said sometime after the new year, correct?
There's no exact timetable for the siege. It's just going to happen at some point.
Yeah, but if I remember, the new year was mentioned. I think that was the wedding.
The wedding was to happen on this very night.
On the night, okay. And is the new year tonight or is the new year tomorrow night?
The new year is tonight.
Tonight, okay.
So think of this as New Year's Eve in our world. Granted, it's really the start of spring, so it would be more like, maybe Persian New Year's.
Hey, Narus! Woo!
Sounds like party time.
We jump over fires.
Whoa.
I mean, I do that too, but, you know, I just have to, it has to be the right size fire, and I have to have drank enough.
We do it to honor, you know, ancestors, but there is drinking involved.
Well, that's part of the reason I drink too. It's part of my heritage.
Oh my god.
I get to take the E out of whiskey, and I can have ouzo.
Oh, I do like some
Because of
ouzo,
New York
even though it
City.
tastes like licorice.
Because of New York City creating the weirdest couple of my two grandparents on my dad's side.
So you're saying it's like the spring equinox? Teeth.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Righteous.
It would be the spring equinox in the Varian calendar, which is the calendar you use. By their reckoning, this is the new year.
Okay.
So we need to go to the bar after we drop off Freaky Boy.
Oh, we can celebrate.
Yeah,
Well,
We got a
get some
war
stuff.
to fight.
I'm going to
too.
the bar.
we do have a war to fight. I think tonight, today, we get the Raven finished. Take him to be imprisoned or hung, however justice deems his fate. We prepare ourselves. Make sure you have all the materials you will need. I will spend what time I can prepping the few soldiers that we do have, and we will begin our march tomorrow. But tonight, there can be some festivities. Because it is the new year, and possibly the last day of peace we will have for quite some time.
Leah pounds his hand on the table. It's about time. I need a beer, an ale, something.
Corbin, on the other hand, is like, is there like a library or a magic shop nearby?
There is the, I believe the Wizard's Breeze, if I remember correctly, the name of that shop.
Yes, the name of the shop. I'm shocked that you know it because I don't. I have it written down somewhere.
It was a fart joke. It was.
kind
I remember getting very
It was
upset.
the Magician's Wind.
There you
Yeah, there it is. I knew it had wind in it.
go. That's
Spells, smells, and death knells.
nice.
You son of a.
Colette, if I remember correctly, your significant other, I'm not sure how far the relationship got, but Didn't the individual of your interests work there?
Oh, Kyrell, he's just a friend. Yes, I believe his mother runs the shop.
Oh yeah, the boyfriend.
No, the friend. Her face, blushing. Mew, what is that you're cooking for breakfast? It smells so delightful. She tries to change the subject.
Bacon.
Oh. Do you need any help? I can come help. She just...
Mew's eyes go just slightly wide. If you're paying attention, she's like, that sounds wonderful, but I think that it would help so much more if you could prep the table.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll do that. And she goes to get plates and run away from the conversation.
Returning to the matter at hand. Corvin, you are going to check out spells and such preparing, correct?
That's right. I got a list. If we're gonna be fighting a war, I need to both stock up on scrolls just to have, since I don't use spell slots to use scrolls, and to learn, because I can copy the spells into my spell book.
Excellent. Having as much utility as possible will be helpful to us. I don't believe all of us need to be there for turning in the Raven, but is there anyone who particularly wants to accompany me when I do that?
Oh, I would. I would be interested in helping.
All right. Anyone else?
You can go. I'll meet you at the tavern.
Mia has some shopping to do.
Hey Mew, you want to go make merriment at the bar?
No, Mew's got shopping to do.
I got shopping to do. I'll meet you there, though.
Okay.
We'll all meet at the Denny's after.
Spoken like a true D&D nerd.
We will meet at the 3X later this evening to finish our merriment before after days work of preparations. Bid you all farewell. I will see you later as he begins getting ready to putting on his coat and then getting the Raven up and starts walking toward the door.
Oh goodness. Okay, we're going now. All right. Mew here, and she hands me the plate and goes to leave.
Oops.
Great, all business.
Not send those yet, but okay.
Suddenly he casts, Corbin casts Burning Hands, burns down the whole table.
No, I'm putting in level order the spells I need.
Ah.
I'm essentially gonna hand this list to the guy at the store and be like, all right, what do you got for me off of this list?
So, who wants to go first? Who wants to do their thing first?
I want to hear what happens to the psycho.
The what?
I want to hear what happens to the Raven.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess
That's my
we'll deal with the Raven first. It was just Caldus and Colette, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Caldus and Colette, you march into town. Snowdrifts still cover most of the side paths leading to your abode. The roads are busier though, although not for the reason that you had hoped them to be. You might have hoped them to be, I should say. The people are packing and heading out of town heading in the direction of, one second. I need to actually have a firm picture in my mind. Heading in the direction of the only road out of town to the east, presumably heading to Rische. Others are shuttering their windows, others are selling things, others are making a big fuss in the streets, declaring that the end is near. The town seems to be in a state of turmoil. Others, a rarity among the townsfolk that you've seen time and time again, go about business as usual, acting as though nothing has changed. This is simply a moment in a larger span of hours. As you head into town, you head towards the district where the street where all of the government buildings have been collected. And you head to what you presume is the jailhouse, the prison, the dungeon, whatever you might call it in this particular small settlement. There you see a man sitting at a table, reading over an old dusty tome, thoughtfully pressing his hands to his face, squinting heavily. To the left of that book is a ledger containing lists of many different people who have come and gone. Nobody on that list is particularly familiar to you, except for one name, Oakley, the night shift man at the 3 Acts.
I will, if there's like a doorway, I will knock on it. Excuse me, sir. We have some business for you.
The man straightens up and he goes back to, or I should say, whereas before the man seemed very serious and focused on something. He closes his book and a strange joviality overtakes him. The man has black, slicked back hair and thin cheekbones. Not the muscular sort of type that you would expect to be operating as a prison warden or jailer, but desperate times. He bows low. Good evening, sir and madam and resident. What brings you to to this building? But what a silly question. Of course you mean to intern this man here.
Yes, we are. My name is Coldus Bouchur. This is my companion. Her name is Colette. This individual is the Raven. How would you put it, Colette?
Well, sir, you know how those young men went missing from your town. We have located them and discovered that the ones that never came home were due to this man. He murdered them, sir.
Yes, I've heard about him. No secret the deeds of you lot in this small town. Yes, I'll see that he is dealt with most severely. He shakes his head. Whatever to do with someone like you? Come along then. He takes the prisoner, and the prisoner turns and gives Colette something that he had never given anyone before. He gives you a slight smile He turns away, and although you can't be certain, you think you hear a thin wind come in through the door. Something that sounds like hissing. The man leads the prisoner into his cell, and he comes back out and says, "Thank you very much. Something about that prisoner gives me the chills.
He's a dangerous sort. Make sure to keep an eye on him and to keep the key under close watch. He can deal a significant amount of damage."
And he taps this, or I should say, I imagine that would be the case. He taps the area, or I should say, the area connecting the jaw to the neck on both sides with his left hand, and lowers his head in prayer to something.
I'd like to roll to see if I know what he's praying to.
Roll religion.
Oh, nat 20!
Okay. You would recognize the gesture as a gesture of those who tend to graves and to the dead. The two taps to the areas connecting the jaw to the neck, representing the two jugular veins on either side.
Wait, he worships death?
Perhaps not worships death, more respects it.
Oh, like a colleague.
Yeah, Corbin looks over it. Colette's like, oh no. How horrifying.
Except Corvin isn't there.
Yeah.
Well,
The skeletons probably went with you.
No.
Though.
So,
No, they're in the basement.
when this
Unlike some
happens,
adventures.
so he took him like behind a door?
He took him to his prison cell, and you heard the door slammed shut.
Colette, she's going to turn to Caldus and say, "Oh, excuse me for one moment. I just want to make sure that I see him locked up, you know. I'll be right back." And she's gonna go look at the cell. Like she's gonna run over to it.
Ma'am, you can't go in there.
Too late.
He chases after you.
I'm gonna firmly grab his shoulder and be like, "Don't worry, she was one of the members who took him down. She can handle her up."
I understand, but there's rules and regulations that you must follow if you're going to.
I'm gonna try and subtly persuade him. Don't worry. She does not. The rules are merely a guideline right now. May I attempt to persuade him?
Sure.
While this is happening.
14.
Okay. While this persuasion is happening, Colette's already opened the door and gone to see him. Not the cell door, but like towards it.
Okay. What did you roll?
For the persuasion of 14.
No, I'll not be deterred. I must go back. I must go. Make sure that the prisoner remains secure. And he storms off.
Coming alongside you as I storm behind him.
You go, Colette, to see the prisoner. There aren't a lot of cells in this particular jailhouse, and none of them are occupied except for one. One containing the Raven. He looks up at you, raises an eyebrow, and says, "Back so soon?"
Before they follow me, I want you to know that no matter what anyone goes through, no matter what evil they do or the reasons they have, there is still hope. And she is going to hand him a small symbol of Lucius and then run away.
He takes it from you and lowers his head. The thin man who approaches you, huffing and puffing, putting his hands on his knees. He looks up at you and he says, "Ma'am, you must leave. You're not allowed in here.
Oh,
There's
I know, sir.
rules you must follow."
Yes, you're so right. I'm so sorry. It's just, after all we've been through and the murder we've seen, I had to see it with my own eyes. The terrible things he did to those boys, sir. For my own nightmares, I suppose. Forgive me. And she gives a little bow.
"Return not here, but this shall not go in any sort of record."
Thank you, sir. You're so kind. And she runs out.
And then I follow her out.
Okay.
Colette, did that gesture that the jailkeeper made, that worry you?
Yes. Well, you know, with the Raven, he believed himself to be the Raven, the god of death. And the symbol that man did, well, it's in... What was the name of the god? Teeth?
No god, just
No god,
just those who inter those in tombs.
Yeah.
Gravedigger?
So is there
Something of that nature.
Alright.
So what Colette is gonna say, is the gesture he did was one of those that respect death. Not the Raven specifically, but those who work amongst it. And the Raven is one of those gods. I had to see it with my own eyes, I suppose.
very well, but you've seen what the Raven has done. You know death surely awaits him, whether it be soon or whether it be within a few weeks' time. Death is the end of his path, and it's coming quickly.
Caldus, one thing I've learned amongst working with the gods is that, well, death awaits us all. But that aside, I guess I just had to see it with my own eyes.
Very well. I won't question you further. Go, here, let's go off, find some things to do with the rest of our day. I'll meet you at the pub for the celebration. I have some things I need to take care of, and I believe you might as well.
All right, I'll see you then. And
Farewell.
Colette's gonna head off to the magic store.
All right, then I guess we will turn our attention to the Magician's Wind, where the illustrious Corvin Blur of the new Legiport Blurs makes their appearance. Onto the scene they astride. Confidence, haughtiness in their gaze.
You saved me some description. Yeah, Corvin opens the door to the store and like just walks right up to the counter. Is there anybody behind the counter working?
Yes. Colette's boothang.
No.
Oh. Is her boothang another tiefling, or is it just a person?
He's just a dude.
Just a dude?
Yes.
All right.
He's looking over a nature book as you come in.
Hey there, friend. Look, I'm gonna cut to the chase. There's this big war about to go on, and I kinda have to go fight it. And I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to killing lots of things at once, my party's not that good. They're more like one-on-one people, so I kinda have to bring my A game to pull my weight and, save the world. Ooh, no, lots of dead bodies. Oh, it's awful. So here's my list. And I hand them the list I put in chat, and I can read it to everybody.
Sure.
So I'm looking for at least one of most of these, if they have them. And I'll
Okay.
probably stock up on magic missiles. But it is Burning Hands, Magic Missile, Flaming Sphere, Acid Arrow, Ray of Enfeeblement, Lightning Bolt, Ice Storm, and Wall of Fire. I know money in our universe is different than how the exchange rate is in a lot of D&D, but even then, after buying all these, I should still have enough gold and supplies to copy these into my spell book. But some of these are just ammo, so I don't have to spend spell slots.
Okay. Well,
I put them by level so that you could go, oh man, they're not going to have one or more than one ice storms? That's crazy.
magic missile. Yes, we have a few of those.
Well, yes, I mean...
Burning hands, a couple. We only have one ice storm and wall of fire, though.
Oh, baby, those are the... So the higher the level, the more important they are in the list to learn. Corvin kind of like scratches his neck. You don't got any of them lightning bolts, do you?
We have those.
How about you...
One of those.
Yeah, how about you ring me up a bill for one of everything until you get to Magic Missile and Burning Hands, and we'll ignore those first. And then once I see the bill you give me, then we'll see if I can afford anything.
Okay. They have everything except for Acid Arrow and Ray of Enfeeblement, but only one of everything else, except for Magic Missile and Burning Hands, of which they have plenty Magic Missile, two Burning Hands.
Hey man, I'll take the lot. I could like drop like my whole bag of silver pieces on the table, depending on how much this costs.
So how much do they normally run?
Oh goodness.
I know magic's expensive.
If I remember correctly, when I played a sorcerer, I remember some stuff being like 50 gold.
Yeah, I'm looking on what it costs.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. So, cost of spell scrolls 5e. Okay. The cost of spell scrolls 5e. Okay. So we're looking at 4 to 5 is a rare scroll. So it's going to be range anywhere from 501 to 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, and it, but we're not getting that kind of hot dosh in this setting.
Yeah, well, yeah. So usually what I do is I'd probably either go on the lower end of that, like 500, maybe 1,000, depending on how good it is, or maybe a little bit lower. So for Wall of Fire, I'd say probably 600 gold.
How much is a platinum worth?
A platinum's worth 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't remember how much you got from the last fight, but it was not a small amount.
No, that's why I'm like, in platinum, in silver, it's just 10 silver per gold, right?
Yes, everything except for Electrum, which I try to avoid.
Yeah, because Electrum's dumb.
It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Why would that exist?
All right, so God, let me get a calculator because I have to spend money to copy it into my spell book, but it's not as much.
Yeah.
All right, how much was it for the ice storm?
Ice Storm is gonna be 600.
All right. Because let's see, how many level 4 spell slots do I have? I think I only have one, and you're not gonna level us up before then, so I can get another.
Mm-hmm.
So one I'd learn and one I'd use. I gotta make that decision.
I like imagining Corvin actually makes that noise.
And yeah, no, because I mean, I could learn them both. It's just I wouldn't be able to use them both. Well, I've got my fucking arcane recovery I never use.
700 for Wall of Fire.
Oh, Jesus. No one's here with me, are they?
Not yet.
I need somebody to borrow week money off of. Because, I mean, look, I have 1,200 gold, but then that's all my gold. Alright, cool guy. I'm gonna rip off, as much as I don't want to, my kick-ass robe, which the price I don't remember was, but it was a lot.
It was like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll be like, how about 600 gold? These these fancy robes and these gloves of missile snaring. Come on, I'm gonna go fight and save the world. And I'm literally giving you the clothes off my back and hands.
Corvin's just stripping down in front of this poor worker.
It's not my robes. I don't wear robes, but that's beyond the point. I have my old boring cloak that was.
He's like, look at these underpants. These underpants are good underpants.
You like these shoes? 10 gold each? No, 50.
These are good boots here.
700 and we have a deal.
700 and you throw a couple of magic missiles my way.
700 and I'll throw one magic missile your way.
750 and you throw me 3 magic missiles.
Oh my god.
That's hardly an increase.
I'll also throw in this wooden skull mask.
Oh. That is of no use to me.
I'll sign it for you. It will be of use to you in about 48 hours, my friend.
Like that person that goes into Starbucks and says, do you know who I am?
That's essentially what Corvin's trying to pull off. Because Corvin, we already just went and saved a bunch of soldiers from this town, arrested this murderer. I'm about to go and help save the country from a war. And this guy's trying to pinch all the cash he can out of me.
He looks at you with a steady gaze. Look, this isn't my shop. I don't set the prices. My mother is away on business.
Oh, I think the corporate sets the price.
It literally is corporate sets the price.
Fine.
All right.
1 magic missile, 700 my robes. And my gloves of missile snaring that I always forgot to use anyway.
All right. They're yours.
All right, but guess what? I'm paying mostly in platinum and silver pieces and copper pieces.
I'm only paying in pennies.
You're paying with change, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I'm paying with all my change first. So,
30 silver spends as well as 3 gold.
well, guess what, my friend? You're about to get 2,676 silver pieces.
Oh my god.
And I be sure to count them all.
Okay?
And 266 copper pieces. So that gives us a pretty much good 268 gold. Plus or minus a couple copper.
All right.
Plus my 380 platinum because platinum is just silly. And then I hand him platinum's cool. I'm a just keep it all gold kind of guy. And then I hand him 52 gold pieces because that's all I need to pay yet in gold.
All right. 1 hour later.
Yeah. You count all that, cool guy?
Cool guy.
Everything seems to be in order. Thank you for your business.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
I like imagining that at this moment is when Colette opens the door and sees a very frustrated Kyrell
Corvin.
and Corvin.
Oh, Corvin with their regular black robes on. What happened to those cool robes? I decided to save the world.
Oh my god. Oh, Corvin, are you doing some shopping?
Not anymore. Hey, if you were to show up with a robe of a scroll of flaming sphere, and burning hands, would really go really far in saving the world. Just saying. And then I walk away.
As Corvin walks out the door, Colette's just like looking back after them, like, what in the?
I don't know why I'm writing the scrolls down when I have to delete them in 2 seconds after I write them into my book.
Oh my god. Oh, hello, Kyrell. I saw you met my friend Corvin.
Yes. I did.
Was it?
Is he nervous?
Yeah. Was it a good encounter?
I don't discuss business after the transaction is finished. And I prefer to keep it that way.
Oh. So you really did meet Corvin. Oh, goodness. Well... Colette's just gonna look around for items to help with the war effort, I suppose.
God, there goes... Because you know why I was trying to haggle him down?
Huh?
Adding one of those to my spell list costs 200 gold. I'm gonna look at them both and decide which one I want to actually copy. Probably Wall of Fire.
So, what does Colette find at the shop?
At least one scroll of Burning Hands and one scroll of Flaming Sphere.
God.
Yeah, I'm copying Wall of Fire.
I like imagining that all of this is just muttering she hears coming from down the road.
If she knows what's good for her.
Oh my god. But yeah, Teeth, what do I find? Any like armor upgrades or like pointier swords?
Not really.
Your sword.
Any
So there's not really a whole lot for sale.
Are there any scrolls of healing or healing potions or?
Well, that is one thing we do stock in spades here. Healing potions of many different kinds.
Well, I suppose I try to keep them all alive to my best ability. Whatever you have in the healing arts, I'd love to look over.
Plenty of healing potions. That's pretty much what we have. Most of the stock in the shop is whatever my mother brings home from her travels, and she hasn't been home in some time.
I'm sorry to hear she's not come back yet. I thought surely she'd be back before, well, we returned from our journey.
Oh, it's nothing really. She tends to be gone for entire weeks, months, or prolin. Who knows how much she'll return, but I assume that she'll send word before she does.
Well, I hope she's staying safe among this climate.
Yes, she's a wise woman. I'm sure that she would have prepared herself accordingly.
Well, I suppose I'd like to know how much your healing potions cost then.
Okay, 1 second.
Now, I have a question. He's not upset that she just went and was gone for a long time or anything. He's cool, right? Should she roll to?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
And you're here on business, so you wouldn't be able to necessarily tell anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So a regular potion of healing is 50 gold, greater healing 200 to 250, and superior 2,000 to 2,500. That's standard.
2,000?
Yeah, you wouldn't be using that very often, I don't think.
Okay.
I just saved your life with $2,000, buddy.
No, she's not even gonna use it.
You're not here.
Healing is
Healing is sending.
you cast sending into Colette just to say you're
I
not
actually
even gonna
don't
use
think I learned sending.
Good, don't learn it.
My ears are burning over here. Somebody's getting ripped off.
I send my bird. My bird is watching you.
No, don't have
Edgar
your
is
bird
sitting there
watch
being
me.
like, what? You're not
This is-
Get out of here.
This is bird watching on a whole different level.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Don't let Bevan learn sending. We'll get like messages at 2 a.m. like
so.
Why would I cast a spell when I could just walk up to you while you sleep with the raven mask on and poke you on the forehead and go, hey, because you didn't buy me burning hands, we're all gonna die and the world's gonna end.
Colette is not your sugar mama. Get.
Either way, standard potions cost 50, greater 200, superior 2,000.
Okay.
Supreme 20,000, but you don't have that kind of
No,
money.
I do not have that kind of money. So the standard was 250 gold?
Standard is 50.
50. Okay. Colette's gonna buy 4 of the standard.
Okay.
And that's gonna be 200.
Okay.
And how much does Burning Hands cost?
It's a level 1 spell scroll, otherwise I wouldn't actually be asking you to buy it.
Yeah, Burning Hands, I believe, it's not terribly expensive. It's like...
How much?
Okay, give me 1 second. It's like, I'd say 50 gold.
Colette's just gonna sigh, rub her temple, and just say, I suppose I'll buy one of those as well.
Look, Psyche, I have to respec into area of effect spells
You
if we're
don't-
defending a city.
You don't have to explain it. You don't. Oh But yes, I suppose that is all I would take. Although I do have a question. Do you have any scrolls for, I suppose, defense?
Not a whole lot of spell scrolls. In fact, you practically cleared us out.
Oh, no, that makes sense. We've been quite busy. The world's gone mad.
Yes, and I am not the primary supplier. There's only one primary supplier.
Your mother, correct?
Yes.
Well, I hope to meet her someday. She does sound
Oh
very
my
interesting. Let me have my small talk. I'm buying you a candy.
No,
Go
I'm
wait in the car.
I'm just making fun of twiddling your finger around one of your horns. I hope to meet your mother.
Listen,
one day.
you wait in the car. I'm getting you a Kit Kat, okay? You wait out there while I get us a discount.
You hear the horn honking.
Mommy's working her deals.
No, she's actually just trying to be nice. She's not even trying to get a discount. She just likes Kyrell, you know. But yeah.
6 foot tall, Kyrell, you're so funny.
Stay in the car. but yeah. Yes, I would absolutely love to meet her one day.
Perhaps.
Do you?
It depends on whether or not she returns anytime soon.
Yes, I suppose so. Well, I'll be at the tavern later to celebrate the new year.
Oh, will you?
Yes, with my friends.
Friend defense.
Listen,
Well,
she's not good at these things. She's been hanging out with a serial killer in the cold for weeks, all right?
Oh my god, I'm not a serial killer.
Not you, the other one.
The skulls,
The other serial killer.
I either
Other serial
burned the
killer,
skulls or they were left to me.
Oh my god. but yeah, that's what she says to Kyrell. Yes, my friends will be there as well.
Oh, that's good. Perhaps I'll join you. There's a great performer who travels through here from time to time. Yes. His name is his name is Ramus, and he's a traveling performer of sorts.
Oh, that is fascinating. I would love to see you there, and I hope the performer shows up.
Oh, he will. He's friends with the bartender.
Really? Well, I hope to see you there, Kyrell. Thank you so much for supplying us with these goods. I'm sorry it's a bit bare at the moment.
Very well. Perhaps I'll see you later.
Colette does like a little awkward grin and wave goodbye, and just walks away quickly with the items in hand.
All right. Suitable. What do the rest of you do with your time?
Well, I walk in the bar.
Boom.
Go ahead, Michi.
Is Miu allowed to buy supplies to make traps around the area for the war?
Aren't we going somewhere else though?
Like when we get there, she wants to set up a couple of situations.
Oh my god, this is
I thought we were
amazing.
defending the town. Are we not defending the town?
No, we're going to what's it called, Teeth?
Risha.
Risha.
Okay, my bad.
I mean, I suppose not a whole lot of people are selling very much, but depends on what you're needing.
She just wants some empty bottles, alcohol, cloth,
Duct tape,
You're
bleach.
making a Molotov cocktail?
and a shovel.
Well, are you like, or I should say, did Mew change her name to Kevin McAllister or something?
No. It's just
Mew goes
She-
home alone.
She's gonna home alone the fuck out of those orcs.
You need a blowtorch, you know.
She's
If
just
anybody
kinda-
is going
right-
to defend this village or this city from an invading army, it's going to be Kitty McAllister over here and the best darn chaotic neutral wizard this side of the twins.
Well, okay, like her mentality is that she saw what fire did before. So
Good, good.
why not encourage more?
As far as she's concerned, orcs hate fire.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
bring Molotov cocktails. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose you can buy, or I should say, if you're at the bar, you can probably purchase some liquor, napkin, or I should say cloth. I mean, I don't think they would sell that there, but liquor. I mean, you can get
Pocket some napkins.
a hearty amount for like 5 gold or so, like several gallons worth.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a
Clothes,
tailor
too.
somewhere.
What was that?
There's gotta be a tailor in this town, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. Does she go? Does Mew go to the tailor?
Mia's probably just gonna ask for like a sheet.
Yes.
And then she'll rip it up herself.
Yes, there is a tailor named. Actually, I have a name for it. Give me
Yeah.
1 second.
I remember.
The tailor's name is Rippin' Sews.
I like it.
Yep. I remember this. We went to the tailor, didn't we?
I don't think so.
We went to the
The traveler
Goods.
shop, Voris
Yeah.
Road Goods.
yeah. So he's gonna. She just. I would like just one sheet, please, like one big sheet, like a blanket, but not two. Just a sheet.
The tailor, a woman you judge to be named Rippin' Sew, at least as a family name, says, "What quality of sheet do you desire, ma'am?" And she says politely and clasps her hands together.
It doesn't have to be high quality, just has to be flammable.
Her eyes widen at that. She says, "Very well. All cloth is very flammable. You can have a nice square meter sheet for of this cheap burlap for 1 silver piece."
Perfect. And I'm also wondering, do you sell gloves?
Yes, of course. She relaxes a bit at that,
Can I have
drawn back
gloves?
into normal conversation.
Not for me, but for a gentleman variety.
Perhaps. What size hand does this gentleman have, pray tell? She says politely, with an air of, with a questioning air about her.
Mew's gonna put her hand out into just into the air and just stare at it, and then take her other hand and just kind of overlap it a little bit to gauge sizes. Just about this big.
So the size of your hand?
No, and she raises her right hand to be just a little bit further up than her left kind of thing, so it looks like a little bit of a bigger hand. She's like, no, like this.
So a very long-fingered man. Very well. What
Just
kind
maybe-
what kind of work will you be doing with these gloves?
They need to be very easy to wash on the outside and keep things clean on the inside.
Worthy complexion for any glove, madame. What material? What will you be doing with them?
Mew slowly looks down. He gets very dirty, if you know what I mean.
Oh no.
I would
afraid
like it.
that I don't.
He puts his
understand.
hands in poop for some reason. I don't understand why.
I was like, what is she getting at?
I did not
Oh,
know
no.
who she was getting gloves for. I was like, ooh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Yes.
He just put his hand in there. I don't know. She's like cheering up a little bit. I don't understand why, but
He reaches. She
I don't
comes
want-
over to you and places a hand on your shoulder. There. We all have friends who do questionable things from time to time.
Mew like slowly nods. She just slowly nods, like feeling a sense of relief that she's understood.
You make
Sounds like
one
you could
silly
use a
mistake.
glove that is not designed for finer things. Perhaps simply a work glove.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I have a
I
knife?
feed him and he has to hold it with his hands, and I just, you know.
I suppose I could find you something like that. Here you go. And she hands you a simple leather glove, not fine worked leather or inlaid with any sort of fancy designs. Simply something that a man of the fields might use on during his day-to-day life. This is something that would come in very handy if a man were to get his hands dirty.
Ask if it's waterproof. Ask if it's waterproof.
Is it waterproof?
As waterproof as any glove I have in this store, of course.
You know, that's fine. I'll take it. Thank
All
you
right.
so much for
That's-
being so nice.
1 gold
Wow.
piece.
Mew gives her the money. She gives like 1 silver extra because she's feels like such a sense of relief for all the help. So she's just like, here's extra, just cause I wish I could get more stuff, but we're gonna fight a war, and I don't wanna get too much stuff right now.
Very well. If you need anything else, you can just come on down to old Auntie Rippenso's.
Thank you, Auntie. Mew takes the stuff and walks away to the tavern.
Wiping your tears off.
Yeah.
It's mid-afternoon by the time you reach the 3 acts, the 2 of you anyway, and you sit down to enjoy a nice, relaxing atmosphere. Nothing particular. As far as the 3 acts go, it's fairly quiet, all things considered.
This is the bar, right?
This is the bar.
3 acts.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. Okay.
Okay.
So do I see them come in? Because I'm clearly already here.
You see Mew comes in, and that's the only person who's coming at this time.
Okay. So I grab my beer from the bar and I head toward Mew. And catch up with her and find out what they're up to.
Okay. We will return to the 3X momentarily. I have a few more plot threads to pull before we return here.
Ooh.
Okay. Kofine, do you do anything during this time before the evening?
I think she would have just stayed at the house and tried to figure things out with the bow that Colette refuses to tell her about.
Despite spending all this time with it, it refuses to lend you its secrets. Perhaps with a bit more time and thoughtful meditation, you'll learn something about it. Aldous, on your way to the Three Acts for the evening, the sun begins to set, and it is close to the end of the day. You head towards the town square and you see something that you might not have expected to see, but perhaps you might have. Men in straight lines, men and a few women, all gathered together, in straight lines with one shorter, younger man at the very front.
Oh, what is this?
Yes. You see the town square has been repurposed. As I mentioned, various sellers have shuttered their windows, leaving their business for the stability of a job in the mines, and some have left entirely. Others have begun to sell traveling supplies and work with a few foreign men who seem to be in the business of securing contracts with traders for the purpose of supplying weapons to the war effort. But for the most part, the square is empty. Apart from the large statue of Grigg, the founder, there is not a single there is not in the town square apart from these young men. No haggling street vendors, no children playing games whose rules were incomprehensible to the passers-by. No couples holding hands or holding each other close against the cold. All that remained were straight lines of young men and women preparing to face a foe with which they were hopelessly outclassed. All that remained in the chalice of Rendickburg were the dregs of war and desperation.
So are there people... You say there's people in lines. Are they like... Are they like some of the soldiers that we found, like trying to muster up some defense? Is that what I'm seeing?
Perhaps. At the front you see a face with which you've grown somewhat familiar. An older boy named Ulmus, with whom you've had a few encounters, a burgeoning friendship perhaps forming between you. He was the one who alerted you of where the others had run off to. The brave young soul who braved the depths of winter to bring to the young woman Faywin evidence of her brother's capture, in hopes that perhaps it would save that boy's life.
Oh, yes. Well, miss, how are you doing today? I'm glad to see you're okay.
He's running drills with the boys and young women, and he says, or I should say, and as he's doing this, he says, "Take 5." And they all take a short break. Ma, Caldus, good to see you. The man stands a full 6 inches shorter than you. The young man. So he has to look up to look upon your countenance.
So he asked me how I was doing?
Yes.
Oh. I myself am doing well, all things considered. Getting ready for setting out tomorrow morning, as it looks like you are as well.
Yes, me and my corporal will be heading up the defense. He gestures to a young woman with whom whom you recognize. The young woman is Faywin, whose brother was killed by the Raven.
Oh, So, are you in charge, or are the two of you taking a partnership in the leadership role?
She interjects. He's in charge, but I keep them in line.
Good to see. So, are you heading up to Riche alongside the rest of us, or are you staying here to guard the home front?
The home front is in no need of guard, says Ulmus. No, the city of Riche is the only protection that this small little village will have against the Empire. So, feeble and untrained as these men are, warriors of them we shall make.
Well,
He nods.
if you're in the process of making warriors, of forging blades to fight against the oncoming tyranny of war, I may be able to lend my hammer if you will take me.
Of course, to that, Faywin, she might have a few words. And she nods at you. You're military, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Thought so. You've had that look about you. Well, me and Ulmus, well, we're the only ones who so much as touched a sword before that bird got us. And I believe, for the time being, that should be the case. See, one of these soldiers, she says in a condescending tone, almost poked out my left eye yesterday, using his spear instead of his hand to point something out to a friend of his. And another had to two-hand a short sword to gain any kind of control over it. A short sword. They're so green the Advarians will just toss them and coat them in a fresh Koreal vinaigrette. But they insist on immediately getting their spears, their shields, their swords. As if simply believing yourself a weapon master was enough to make it so. Of course, I disagree, as does my sergeant. Would you care to talk some sense into them, General?
Oh, of course, it would be my honor. So, how many soldiers, air quotes, do we have?
Ulmus looks at you. Rough estimate is about 50.
Not
Maybe less, depending on if any of these decide to abandon ship beforehand.
Well, hopefully, I can add a little bit of courage, temper their wills a bit, as I ready myself. Attention, soldiers!
They seem to be in the business of milling about, not doing anything particular.
You see, this will not do. I said, and I deepen my voice and I project. Attention, all soldiers! Eyes on me!
They look at you confused. Some of them recognize you as a man who helped save the remainder of them, and others recognize you as somebody who they've seen in town before. Perhaps they even saw you at that one night at the Three Acts, where you and your friends helped to ease the mood a bit.
Now, some of you may not know me, others may. My name is General Coldus Blashur. I am out of character. The military I'm from is not at Varian, right? It's the Novendraki. Yes.
Yes.
I am a general in the Novendraki army. I have been sent here to aid in the defense of my land against the empirical tide of war that is coming. I went through great lengths to save some of you from a cold demise at the hands of the Raven, a terrifying serial killer. My allies and I tirelessly trudged through the snow and through the cold, bitter harshness in order to save you soldiers so that this nation would have a fighting chance. I see that my work is not yet done. Many of you need training. Many of you need to be taught how to handle yourselves in battle. I have quite a bit of battle experience and mastery that I wish to share with you. Now, any of those of you who are ready to fight, ready to defend your livelihoods, your families, and your nation, please stand at attention and join me. We're going to do some calisthenics, and I'm going to show you your way around a blade.
Or I should say, the corporal interjects as an aside to you, whisper something into your ear. Perhaps not the blade yet. Thus my concern.
Maybe the spear.
Maybe neither. Maybe just a simple quarterstaff.
Do we have enough for everyone?
Any broomstick will do.
All right. So, you're right. Sorry, words. All right. Let us pass out broomsticks for now. We will treat them as if they were blades. We will show them how to handle themselves properly. And then after all of the quarterstaffs and broomsticks and random sticks that we find in the forest are dispersed, I will then pull out my own blade. Now, this is a great sword. I myself am a master in great weapons combat. I then set my blade down. You will not be learning the great sword. You will be learning how to wield a short sword. You will treat this stick in your hands as your short sword. Please, with one hand, with your dominant hand, grab the... designate one end to be the bottom, the hilt. I'm going to teach you how to properly balance your blade and how to keep your footing. And then I go through the whole thing of here's how you balance yourself. The balance of the blade is very important and you need to feel it and yada, yada, yada. And I just start, after a little bit, I then go into proper technique in how to block a strike coming at you, or how to with the difference between a slash and a jab and a parry and all that fun stuff. And we'll burn through that for the next 2-3 hours.
Their minds are as weary as their bodies by the end.
Done good work today. I'm proud of all of you. The work that you put in today is the beginning of a great and mighty career for all of you. The war coming is going to be hard. The days are going to be long. But I urge you, fight through it. Take camaraderie with the other people in this group right now. Take camaraderie with your brothers and sisters at arms. Soon, the fight for our nation, for this beautiful nation of Myland, will be at your hands. Steel yourselves with strength, fight with honor, and make sure that you do everything in your power to see tomorrow. That is where we will stop for today. I will see you all early in the morning, dawn, before we set out. Dismissed.
The two in charge turned to you and said, or I should say, and Baywin says, "Well, that was certainly thorough. But thank you, General. I think we all have some things to think about."
I wish we had more time. It was it was a goal of mine that once we got to Ettenfest, or once we got back here, that I would personally devote more time to making sure everyone had a fighting wit about them. But time is not on our side.
Perhaps, but Ulma says, we still have to, or I should say, we still have time, I think. After all, we won't be the only ones there defending the city, and who knows how long we'll have. In the meantime, I suppose we can practice. We can practice the basics. Thank you. In the future, I will need, or I should say, 50 men is too many for a sergeant. So, I might ask your assistance in helping to designate sergeants of individual sections, and perhaps we'll figure something out in the future.
Of course, you know where to find me. You can always ask for my aid.
Very well. Will you be doing anything tonight, General? Says Faywin.
Well, the rest of the squadron and I will be at the 3 acts, partaking for the at midnight for the turnover into the new year. So if you wish to join us in the merriment, you're more than welcome.
Very well. Perhaps me and my sergeant will partake. For now, I've got some things to think about. Have a good night and Happy New Year, General.
Happy New Year. Good luck, Sergeant. Good luck, Corporal.
And they nod to you, give you a hearty Mylene salute, and they both turn about to go about their business.
Excellent. Are watches a thing? Watches are a thing, right?
Watches like what?
But like a pocket watch.
Okay.
Yeah, like a wristwatch, pocket watch.
Maybe some sort of rudimentary sort of thing. The technology for it has not been perfected yet.
All right. Well, there is some sort of. Oh, look at the time. I may have gotten a bit carried away. I wouldn't want them to celebrate without me, and then I make my way off to the 3 act.
Very well. All right. What does everybody else do before we have our last the last night spent here?
I would like to retroactively go to like Colette walking out of the magic shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to imagine she ran into Corvin.
Oh, good. Now I have 9 hours just to spend copying spells into my book instead of 8.
No, I just want to say that earlier in the day, after she was done with the store, she probably caught up with you quickly and handed you the scroll
That's what
she
I mean.
bought.
It takes 2 hours per spell level to copy a spell into the book. So I was literally going to spend my day from like 10 to 6 copying spells into my spell book. So now I'll join you guys at 8 p.m.
If you don't want it, I can take it.
No, this is, I mean, honestly, I'm not really a party person anyway, so you're just giving me more excuse.
No, you should socialize though. Please still join us.
I can't wait to show off all of my new fire spells.
Don't show them off. Save them for emergencies, Corvin.
They come back when I go to sleep.
Oh goodness, just take the paper. She
Oh,
hands
I've
it.
already taken it, and I'm already like reading it on my way over.
Oh my god.
Give me one moment.
Oh.
The Louis screams for me.
Let Louis into your office. I hear him in the hallway. Just we've been around him all day, and he's still running up and down the hallway, crying. Who?
Hey, we might get a cat.
Oh.
A new cat. Another cat. Because I want another pet. But we have to get like a young cat. We have to get a kitten because our old cat hates adult cats.
Yeah, you gotta ease them into it. Also, okay, now that we have a little break and Teeth is taking care of the cat,
I'm here.
did wing tacos just pop up in my chat by the bot?
Look, all I'm saying
Oh my
is they
god.
got bones. They're bones.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
I just was trying to feed the mods.
fucking
Apparently,
hilarious.
they're hungry for wing
They're
tacos.
bones. You
I'm-
guys, they's got bones.
I'm gonna go pee. I'll be back. I
Bones
can't.
make the
I'll be
meat
back.
good.
No, I mean, like, I understand if you're taking the bones off, but all the pictures I've seen have had the bones in them.
You haven't seen what I'm talking about, though, right? Like, you haven't seen a taco chicken? Have you not
I saw
seen?
that too.
Okay.
And that's just gonna make the taco soggy.
Oh, that's perfect because it's like a big thing that you eat like you eat like a family together where you just kind of all pick at it.
You
and
guys
just
are
pick bits of it.
idiots.
Yeah, it's great. It's like very
What
animal
are
style.
these things called?
Well, there's Winkos, okay, which is like
The
Wing
jeans
tacos.
I used to wear when I was a kid in
Not
middle
Jinkos.
school.
no Winkos, right? And
So
then there's taco chickens, okay, where you take tacos and stuff them in chickens.
So speaking of Jinkos, in elementary school, they wouldn't warn us ahead of time when we were practicing the mile. In gym, in elementary school, you didn't have a gym uniform. So I wore Jinkos to school because it was 2001. And they're like, oh, we're doing the mile today. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm wearing like 20 pounds of pants. Like, come on.
Oh, it's
I'm
just
back.
amazing.
I'm back.
Look, that was just
pounds.
coincidence. Like, I went to feed the mods. Look at my comment. Feed the mods. It's not my fault.
I took a screenshot. I saw.
I've been good today.
You
I
have.
just a little.
He
Hey,
has.
here you
He's
go.
been
I'm
very
done.
good.
So after Colette hands Corvin the gift, she would have a few hours before meeting everyone at the tavern. She's gonna go get Kophine. She's gonna head to the house and talk to her.
All right. What do you mean to do?
Kophine, would you like to join us all at the tavern later for the New Year's?
Not particularly.
Do you not do you not celebrate?
More, I'm not a fan of drunk people.
Oh, yes. That makes sense, I suppose, but no one should bring in the new year alone.
I mean, it's not entirely alone.
Who else will be with you?
Well, you got the skeletons in the basement.
The skeletons do not count, Kophine.
Wow, rude.
Corvin's in the basement reading, and I'm like, I'm here too.
Corvin, you're going to the tavern later, Colette yells downstairs.
If I am, I'm bringing the skeletons.
See, and then Kophine will be alone. See, the skeletons are going to the tavern.
So that we get the tavern to ourselves. It's almost like we just partied at home, Kophine. And then you hear like a little explosion because I'm learning fucking 2 fire spells right now.
Oh my
And
God.
I have to practice them while I learn them.
I think someone
nothing.
should stay here to make sure the house doesn't burn down.
Well, the house won't burn down with Corvin leaving it. Why don't you come back with them?
How certain are you of that?
Well, I'm not really certain about anything nowadays, but still.
Besides, I have to work on figuring out what you've been hiding.
Oh, the bow. You can certainly try, but it's still ill-advised.
Corbin yells back up from the basement. Let her use the bow!
Colvin, get back to your spell work!
You're not my mom!
Colvin, don't make me come down there!
The whole house smells like brimstone.
Oh my god. Also, I know Mew would probably be very happy to see you there.
It'll be fine. She'll be busy entertaining people.
Oh, what spell was that?
Oh, could you hear me? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I forget sometimes that I use like a really good microphone.
Oh my god.
That spell is Bevan just like shotgun to beer.
It's the sulfur burp. It's a
Yeah,
melee.
that's why it smells like sulfur down there.
Oh my
it's
God.
it's Thunderwave.
No, I'm just casting Dragon's Breath, and I'm choosing a green dragon.
Uh-huh. Well, the invite is still there, I suppose. I'm going to head down. If I don't see you, I wish you a Happy New Year, Kofine.
Yes, send one to you as well, Colette.
Kofine, you better get your butt over there.
Bye, Colette.
I'm really glad Mew doesn't have sending. So yeah, Colette's gonna go to the bar now.
Oh, that's okay. Don't say bye back.
Did you say goodbye? I'm sorry. I thought I heard Mew. I don't know why I thought I heard her voice. Goodbye, Colvin. We'll see you at the bar later.
Yeah, or whatever.
No, you have to be there. Goodbye. She runs off.
You head to the 3 acts. Sun has began to set. As you head into the town square, you see a group of young men leaving, young men and women heading to their respective homes, having just dispersed from a large gathering in the town square. And a young man and a young woman head off in another direction discussing something.
Can I overhear what they're talking about?
No, they're far too far away to hear what they're talking about.
Okay, then Colette's just gonna go in the bar.
Alright. And you head into the bar, and you see that it's largely empty. Only about 5 people sit inside. 3 folk gather at a table. 2 men, 1 woman, muttering to themselves, and not really saying a whole lot. And also, at the bar, you see a taller man with a full beard, and a young man and a young woman sitting with him, with large pointy ears.
Luya, Mew! Colette says as she walks in.
Mew smiles and waves at Colette and then looks at Luya. So, I got you a present. And then she slides over the gloves. With like a poker face, just very serious, staring at him, just sliding over the glove.
Quite confused. Luya looks at the gloves, eyeballs them. Very sturdy. Sees a pair of very sturdy gloves. These look like excellent work gloves.
They're
What a
very.
gift.
Yeah. You should use them when you're checking things out in pots.
I'm very. Oh. Is this some kind of joke?
It's not a joke. I'm very serious.
At this point, Colette is next to them and is overhearing this, and instantly orders a drink for herself because she does not want to be involved in this conversation.
I see Colette trying to sneak past me to get a drink. Was this you? Is that why you're sneaking to get a drink? Did you put her up to this?
I did no such thing. I had nothing to do with it. You did this to yourself. I would like a very strong drink. Not your strongest, but please.
Bartender, whatever she's having, I'll pay for it with this gold coin.
Is that? Mew's just gonna steer like with one. Is that?
No!
Is that the?
I just grabbed the gloves. It is a pot coin.
No!
Grab my beer. Chug.
As long as we don't touch it, it's fine.
It's perfectly good gold.
Yep. I'm just saying that for future escapades and looking for perfectly good gold, you can use those perfectly good gloves.
They are good gloves. For
Yo.
skinning, it would keep my hands clean. I wouldn't want to get blood on them.
I would prefer it if it was blood. And she sips her drink.
Bartender, a man you recognize, named Oakley, comes up and provides you all with your respective beverages.
Thank you, Oakley.
Anything else I can do for you?
I'm okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Teeth, are there any New Year's specific snacks or meals or treats?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm so horrible.
I like imagining that we just hear Corvin in a corner eating and burping.
Corbin's not even there right now. I'm just being.
We can hear him
Sounds are just
sending all the way
explosion.
from home.
It's one of the two guys in the corner at the table.
I mean, I can keep providing Foley if you don't want me to mute myself.
Oh my god. But,
I'll lean
God,
into the
man.
mic for you. And...
don't.
The,
Yeah, Teeth.
Around here, the only thing that they really seem to enjoy is some aged cheese, perhaps.
Sorry.
Okay.
A fancy village, like some old ass cheese. Sorry, I liked it.
Colette will order some cheese and bread for the party to snack on, so we're not just getting wasted.
He grabs the cheese and before he hands it to you, he says, "I know it's a bit strange, but it has a purpose."
What is? Colette eyes the cheese and looks back up at him. What purpose is that?
You see, if you don't finish an old saying here goes that if you don't finish the things that you started in the last year, they'll come back to haunt you. So the old Mylene folk many years ago determined that if there was old cheese that hadn't been finished by the end of the year, they would serve it at their parties, and now it's become a staple.
So it's not aged cheese, it's just old cheese.
No!
No, it's well, what had once been old cheese, yes, but now they serve it as a fine garnish. Intentionally aged teas to be eaten specifically on this night.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I feel a bit better.
It's not just some old bag cheese hanging around. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, you want some
No,
cheese?
these are
You want
fine
my cheese?
cheeses imported from far away.
Okay. Well, that's a lovely tradition. Thank you. We shall gladly partake in it. And we
Anything else I can get for you?
also a tankard of wine for the party.
Luya puts on one of the gloves, slides it on, grabs one of the chunks of cheese.
Why are you using your gloves for the cheese? Why are you using
Mew doesn't care. Mew actually asks for cheap alcohol, not for drinking, specifically for other, for her.
plans?
Yeah. It's just, she would be that one person, that one noble that like was reading a book and read about like someone putting alcohol into a bottle and setting it ablaze and just
Oh
remember
my
that
God.
specifically. That would be her. Like that would.
Yeah, she would remember that, something like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Do,
Remember this very violent thing.
do any of us know what she's up to, or do we just think, oh, that's weird, she's really going hard tonight?
If anyone knows, it would be Corvin. Other than that, no.
Oh my god. I just can't wait.
Kofi might know. Kofi might, but
The combat properties of flammable alcohol does seem very promising.
I just love the
It's not
idea that we get in a battle and our bard throws out a freaking Molotov cocktail.
So I think at this time Corvin walks in the bar and looks over at you and goes, "Oh, right on, let's pour cocktails. Let's do this."
Neil like puts both of her hands up in the air, like in fists, like yeah.
I go up to the bar. Potion soda.
Potion
No.
to the-
Potion
I'm
soda.
going into battle, and I'm in need of your strongest potions.
Shortly
Ah.
after Corvin gets there, Aggie and Caldus will walk in as well.
Seems like I've got quite an increase in business. He knocks on, or I should say, he turns and knocks on the door next to the bar, and says, "Looks like we have company. If you want to join us again."
Yar, it's Handsome Pete. He dances for nickels.
So or I should say, the man goes back to polishing his glasses, and outstrides someone barely unremarkable. The man has has long hair that covers most of his features, except for his face. It covers his neck and his ears, and the top, and his forehead. But with all that said, he has a he seemed to have a fairly easy way about him. Okay. He wears a pair of gloves and plain clothing, simple browns and tans and beiges, the colors of a man who seems to spend most of his life on the road. The only truly noteworthy things about him are or I should say, only truly noteworthy things about him are the loot that he carries and his eyes. His eyes seem to tell a story, but from where you're sitting at the bar, you can't really seem to make up what that story might be. He also carries a simple traveling sword, or I should say, he carries a traveling sword at his hip, with a large, tattered leather scabbard. It seems to have seen many years on the road. My guess, this is Ramus. And Ramus does a a graceful bow.
Colette does a little small bow back, you know. Oh, it's lovely to meet you. This is the person Kyrell was talking about, right?
Yes. Or at least you can assume so.
Yeah. We've heard of your wonderful performance by Kyrell, who works over at, God, what's the name of that unfortunate shop? The Wizard's Wind or something?
The Magician's Wind.
The Magician's Wind. I hate it.
He says,
Oh,
well, what?
we just got a raid. I don't want to have this interrupted, so give me 1 second. I'll be right back, y'all. Hello, everyone. My name is PsycheSiren. Welcome to our D&D night. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chase, for that raid. So hello, if you're new to my channel, Thursdays are for D&D, but this is usually what happens. You may want to turn your volume down a little. I can be a bit of a loud hoe. So without further ado. Hello there. Oh no. There's too many.
We're all a bunch of tits and toots and
The Smut Hut.
no, we're not naming it the friggin' Smut Hut! No!
Yay. He's not gonna mess with us. Oh, no.
Acorn shell.
Oh, shit!
You guys
I'm
so
gonna be.
much.
Oh,
Welcome to PsycheSiren Streams. Join us. Join the community. You'll have a great time. You won't regret it. Go ahead. Subscribe today. Follow. Join our Discord. One of us. Forever. But yes, welcome everyone. I usually do a lot of variety nonsense, a lot of chaos, but Thursdays are good days. Those are D&D days. I usually talk with chat a lot, but on D&D, what we do is we type in chat and we have audio belong to the party. Chase, what were you streaming? It's so good to see you. Thank you for bringing your people over. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to the story. So basically, all of you are coming into the scene where it is New Year's celebration and our characters are preparing for war. So this is like the last celebration before crap goes down. And we're about to see a very interesting performance by a guy with like 6 foot long hair. I don't know what's about to happen. But anyway, I will be texting y'all in chat, but audio will belong to this lovely party. So yeah, here we go. Okay, I did the streamer thing. I am back. Hello.
Hi, one of us.
But yes, I'm ready. Take it away, Teeth Whitener.
Yes. So the man says, but the pleasure is all mine. Well, I must be off. I need to tune my lute before I perform. It's good meeting you. Perhaps I'll have a word with you before midnight.
Yes, it was lovely meeting you as well. We'll see you then.
Oakley. brought out the cheese already.
Oh, is there cheese?
Yes, it's a New Year's tradition.
He's gonna tune his lute.
I was typing that, Mitchie. I was typing it in chat.
Tune my lute, literally. He's a musician. No.
And as
Hey,
a fellow
you.
musician, Muse giggling.
It's always the bard. It's always.
So he begins to play, and it's mostly just idle music to pass the time. Occasionally he'll play a bit of a softer tune, but for most part, it's there's no songs, just music. Something to accompany the tavern as the night goes along. And well, he's quite good. He's got a very, or I should say, his fingers move very quickly up, and he seems to be. Okay,
Don't-
stop. It's a lute. Okay. And he makes a few chords that, that would be quite difficult to make for an average for a novice player. This man seems to have quite a bit of experience.
So
Quite
he's
talented
mastered the
musician.
F chord.
The F chord?
It's a My Hero Academia joke.
Oh my god. I can't.
I mean, you can. Just take a deep breath there.
No.
Yes, he's
No.
quite good.
How is the cheese?
It's aged, but well aged.
So when you say old cheese, you mean like aged Parmesan, not like, you know,
Covered in mold,
no
just like
mold.
old cheese,
Okay.
aged cheese,
Okay.
stuff that is intentionally aged.
So do I roll to see if I like it, or like is it just good cheese? Like
It's good.
It's
I mean,
good?
it's like this is the good stuff. They save it for the end of the year.
okay. Well then Colette's very happy eating cheese and wine. She's happy.
Oh.
They bring out the crappiest stuff for a big celebration, of course.
Okay, sassy pants.
And the tavern seems to light up a bit, and a few people start pouring in as the night begins to wear on. Indeed, it seems as though that maybe what was once going to be a somewhat bland night might turn into something a bit more exciting. So,
Leah
You do
raises his mug. To battles won, and battles to be won. Cheers and merriment. Ho!
Cheers!
Cheers
Slugs it down.
to the formation of our group, to the future of Mylan, and then chugs down his drink.
Well, surviving. And then Colette just downs the rest of her wine.
Like, Mew has her drink up and she's like, 2 potatoes! And like, when she's about to drink, she looks around and she goes, where the frick is Kofi? She like puts her drink down and walks out to go
Don't
get
get mad.
Kofi.
I invited her. I went to the house. I asked her if she would like to join, and she said no. I tried. I told her you'd be mad.
She's
Mew
playing with her
turns-
bow or something.
Mew turns very grumpy and says, that's your first mistake. You gave her a choice. And Mew just leaves to go get Kofi.
You shouldn't have given her
Accurate, too.
choice.
Oh my god. Colette just while Mew goes quietly, 2 potatoes, and Jacques wherever he is, and Korg, And she pours a little bit more wine and drinks it.
And let's not forget about Bobo, another ally and friend of ours that we've met along the way.
Oh, yes, and to Bobo as well. Oh, and to Gertrude, too.
And Coldus makes eye contact with Aggie and like clinks his drink against hers. And to you, my dear.
Oh, this stop it.
Corvin starts making vomiting noises.
Hearing my husband say that, I can't.
Stop.
Stop it.
Corvin is actively retching.
You stop it too. It's not like I asked for this.
I didn't ask for this. To be shown how human I could be.
Colvin, would you like some cheese while you're brooding?
No, man, Corvin's got like an already half bottle of gin next to them. No, I'm good.
And Corbin got the
Good.
mask on.
Don't want any solids in you.
No. Solids upset my stomach.
But,
I'm doing good.
oh goodness, okay.
There's enough calories in here to last me a week.
Liquid calories, but I suppose.
Those carbs will be turned into fat, and I'll be okay.
I don't know if that's how it works, but alright.
Corbin's like, I'm made it this far.
And look how it's gotten you.
Yeah, want to watch me blow up a barn?
No, please, just eat your, drink your food. Oh my goodness. She turns around at the bar.
I go, it's got herbs in it.
And the clock strikes 10, or I should say the music starts to pick up in its tempo, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, nearly dancing to a jig. And in walk three people with whom some of you are familiar. Two of them are the corporal, the burgeoning corporal and sergeant, Faywin and Ulmus, respectively. Behind them is a young man, a certain Kyrell, with whom Colette seems to fancy.
Oh, Kyrell, you've made it.
Yes, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, Miss Faywin, good to see you came in. Join us.
Ulma says, "Well, I don't suppose I really had much anywhere else to be. I probably shouldn't drink. I'm a bit young for that."
Coldest, they're humans. You can't just offer them, spirits at that age.
And then Corvin, who is also a human, walks up and is like, "Look, man, if you're ready to fight a war or overcharge on scrolls, you're old enough to drink." And I pour him a drink.
I do have to agree. Back in the army, I was much younger than I should have been before I began drinking.
And Corvin's
what
like,
you do.
I honestly can't believe you guys are drinking the water here when you can drink this. I mean, the
Colvin,
water's not that good for you.
how old are you? I don't think we've ever asked.
I'm in my early 20s, thank you very much.
How early?
Early enough.
Oh my god.
And then I go, "Oh, and it looks like you got something behind your ear." And I reach behind her ear and cast Prestidigitation to make a small statue of Corvin giving her the finger. And I give it to her.
That's the last thing I give you any gift.
Oh,
Give
that's a
me
good
the
one.
scroll back. The last thing I help you.
I already copied into my spell book. The scroll's gone now.
Oh, I will remember this.
I can cast as much as I want. Watch. And I hold up my hands to do it, and I look at you like, I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I don't have it prepared right now.
Oh, you poor thing.
I love that Corbin and Colette have formed this like older sister, younger brother dynamic. Like this, I'm not touching you.
younger
I'm not.
Person.
That's true.
Thank
that's
you.
true.
When
You're a younger
Michi
brat.
when Michi was like, "Oh, I'm buying gloves for someone, but they're man gloves," I'm like, "Oh, Corbin wouldn't want man gloves. They're too rough, so they're not for Corbin."
Corbin's gender is just yes. They.
Well, no, it's the other way around. Corbin's
The
gender is
no.
Yes.
no, thank you.
That's true.
No,
Oh
thank
my
you.
god.
Not necessary.
I love it so much. But yes, she's gonna go back from fighting with Corbin and just well, we have already some food and drink if you'd like to join us.
And or should say, and Cairo says, I suppose so. Oh, they brought out the cheese already.
Apparently this is a big deal.
More cheese.
Apparently.
Corbin
Wait.
does, though, say, "Look, Kyrell, just out of curiosity," and kind of giving Colette like a weird glance. How old are you?
Oh my god.
23?
Oh, then you're fine to be drinking. What's wrong with you?
I wasn't. He wasn't the one who said that.
Oh,
It was the 16 and 17-year-old.
oh, well, they're old enough. It's the medieval times. I've
So
been
you
drinking
said
since they were
she's not known
6.
anything.
Fair
I just-
enough.
I just wanted to be like, oh, this person Colette's crushing on is only 16. You said.
No.
Leah puts on his other glove, shoves his hand in there, closes his grips, grabs a chunk of bread. It's time to drink. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Why are you using your gloves to eat, Luya?
And Corvin's like, that's not the kind of bread you drink. And I go and grab you a beer and come back, and I'm like, this is the kind of bread you drink. And I put it on the table in front of you.
Oh, please just cut us over to Mew and Kofi. Please. Please.
Okay.
Please.
Is Kofi here?
No, Mew went to go get her. She left to go get Kofi.
Okay.
Is
Alright.
Kofi with Mew in real life right now so that Mew can yell at Kofi for real?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
You want me to get up from my chair?
No. Turn around though and yell into the other room.
Oh my god.
I'm down the hall from her.
Yeah, it's fine. No,
Wake up the whole house. It's only 9:30 there.
oh no, everyone's awake over here.
Oh, okay. Corinne's been in bed for like 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we're all we're all a bunch of night owls.
Oh my god.
Anyways, no, would we say that Mew's already dragging Kofi over by now?
Considering you probably wouldn't give her the choice, probably.
Yeah, Mew probably
gonna
just
make
took
him
the
do
bow out of her hands and like held it hostage while we're going to the tavern. Okay, you're gonna be here, you're gonna have fun with everyone. Okay, maybe not everyone, but with some people.
Definitely not everyone.
I like imagining that little soundbite of Hellgate in the background is some drunkard on the street that you pass by celebrating.
Probably. Probably. You don't have to have fun with everyone, but one of the most fun that you can have is watching Colette get super drunk and hee 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 hee.
Okay, fair.
And the magic happened when Mew turned into a gremlin.
What were you saying, Teeth?
Louis just dug his claw into the very thin flesh of my knuckles.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
It hurt a lot.
Also, I
There's
want to
not a lot
say
of flush there.
it's very funny that Mew is saying how funny Colette is when she's drunk, but Mew is very, very toasted.
Yeah, but yeah. At the same time, though, Mew's been drinking with Colette for a while now.
That's
so-
true.
You come into the bar, and at this point, it's probably about not midnight. It's probably about 10.
Luya, drinking contest.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
We pound our mugs on the counter. Bam! Refill.
Miss Louis.
I brought the coffee cake.
Oh, decided to show up, I see.
Just in time for the contest.
Well, around 11 p.m., things start to wind down a little bit as the mood in the inn goes subtly goes from uplifting and upbeat to slow melody, and ultimately into deep melancholy. The man who strums the strings averts his gaze and closes his eyes as he plays the saddest tune that you've ever heard. And for the first time since he sat down, words come from his mouth instead of simply chords on a lute. He sings a song of a man who loved a woman across the seas. A man who lost her to a war from which she would never return. She left to find her own purpose. She left to find glory. And she would not find it again. The words are in Elvish, and you are somewhat familiar with them. The words of the song Three Fountains. A word in Elvish that is scrawled across the red wood of his lute. Finally, at the very end, in Elvish, you hear the words, "To my mind returns your descent 'neath seas of ambition and covetousness. The stink of sour brown ale urges my mind to forget, but the sweetness of maudlin blood-red wine forbids it. Between the founts of neglect and remembrance, the salty streams flow again." With that, he pauses for a moment and sits silently.
Colette has
You
like
get-
a little tear in her eye.
He gets up and goes to the bar and orders a drink from Oakley. Sorry, old friend. That song, every time I play it, brings back faint memories, unpleasant ones. I need to take a break. And he says, "Oh, no problem at all, friend. If you wouldn't mind keeping our guests company, I think that these might be joining you on the road, albeit indirectly." "Oh," he says. "Where are you headed?"
In the morning, we are making our way to Risha. Are you heading east?
Why, of course. Not really many other directions to head. I was actually in Fast when it fell.
How did you get out?
Well, traveling man, a man as well traveled and well armed as I am, can find his way out of any sort of situation.
True, very true.
You remind me of someone. What's your name, soldier?
The name is Caldus, as I throw my hand out to give him a formal handshake, or formal handshake, I could say.
Yes, very familiar. I can't really put my finger on it. Well, I wish you luck as you head over there. It's a dangerous road ahead, and likely many troubles will meet you in the city.
We've been preparing ourselves all day, not only for the journey, but once we get to our destination. But he looks amongst all of the crew, all of the members of the team. I think we'll be okay. I think we can handle anything that comes our way.
Well, I'm like to meet you in the city, but I've headed out tomorrow. I don't suppose you'll be headed out until probably the next a day or two from now. If you're going to be gathering up if you're going to be mustering some strength. Seems like a few of you might need to sleep off a few days worth of liquor in a single night.
We'll see what happens.
Some of us are used to it.
Cheers to that. But whether we see you again or not, I bid you farewell, and I thank you for playing for us tonight. It's helped the mood.
Always a pleasure. If you find yourself in a dim lit inn with no scrupulous customers to call its own, you might just run into Ramus Bergenmeyer. Until then, have a good night, folk. And he returns to his stand and plays a song that is a little bit easier on the palate.
Walk up to Caldus. He seemed to remember you. Did he look familiar to you?
I'm not sure. What kind of check do you think that would be, Teeth Whitener?
Yes, that would just be a knowledge check, a basic intelligence check.
Alrighty. Do you think I should have a disadvantage for inebriation?
I think that would be appropriate.
So intelligence?
Sure.
All right. Oh, hey, 13 and a 15. So plus my intelligence, the 16.
No, you don't recall this man at all. He seems to remember you, but you don't remember him.
I don't seem to recall his face, but that's understandable. Person of my reputation, my name and face gets around, but I don't have the fortune of meeting as many people as my name does.
That's not the only party that gets around.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's had a lot to drink.
I have a feeling that I'm helping make Lechaport cocktails.
I can't say you're wrong yet.
That's been our arts and crafts for
Oh my god.
We're just in the corner, like arts and craftsing, and Kofian has no choice because Mew has her bow.
And we're making sure to do them like the safe way where you tie the rag to the side of the bottle so that the rag doesn't fall out. Like we're doing it the right way.
Oh
Don't ask me.
my my god.
Well, the night goes on. You share a few laughs. You share a few. Outrageous jokes, and maybe even a few tears as you listen to some of the music. But the midnight does eventually come, and the music stops. As nobody really counts down in this particular era. But as midnight approaches, they all hold up a big slice of cheese and take a bite. And say, in Mylene, Surferian farewell. The end of the old year. Surferian fall, welcome. And they all take, or I should say, and they finish the cheese.
I start just shooting sparks with prestidigitation, like little fireworks, like I've got a sparkler for a finger.
Oh, yeah.
And they all clap heartily. The crowd has grown from a smallish 10, 15 to, by the end of the night, about 50. The house is almost at full capacity on the bottom floor.
Harrington.
Should say. As midnight closes in, the musician gets up from his stool, gives a nod to Oakley, and returns to his quarters. He shoots a glance to Caldas before he heads in there, and gives him an appraising gaze, and then he heads into his room.
I'm going to. Caldas is a little drunk, not like utterly sloshed because he can hold his shit, but he's not in perfect state of mind. But he goes over to like mainly to Luya, but whoever else is nearby can overhear. Luya, I think your suspicions were correct. You just gave me another look. But again, I don't know if I've ever met the man before.
I guess we'll find in the morning. What's up with him? Not sure. I don't like it when people stare.
Do you think that... Sorry, I couldn't help overhearing since we're all on these bar stools. Do you suppose if you got him alone, he might confess to knowing you?
Might.
Buy him a drink, Caldas.
Go talk
Nobody
to him.
talks more than a drunk.
You would know. How much have you had?
I've had
Really
enough.
enough.
There was something behind that gaze as he looked at you. You did catch his eyes. Something haunted. Something that tells you the notes that he was playing on that song weren't simply for show. They seemed as though they were coming from the man's heart. As you looked at him, you could see a deep blue sea, fathomless. He seemed as though he had a jovial air about him, but his eyes told a different story. An old sorrow was buried deep beneath them. Their deep blue was enough to make you weep, but you didn't really know why.
Well,
Caldas, did you break up with this man and ghost him?
No!
Left him on red.
I'm worrying it may be something a bit more sinister than that.
Now we know that the rank of general stands for general asshole. I can't believe you.
Did you steal his potato?
Everyone. Let me go speak with him. If I'm not back in a few minutes, you know what to do.
You killed
Oakley stands in front of the door. He says, "No can do. This man's gone in the morning. He needs to get his rest. He'll probably be up before you guys, or should say before you lot, have fallen asleep."
That truly is unfortunate.
Well, if you're headed in the same direction, you'll likely run into him at some point. Risha's a big city, but it seems as though your destinies might be intertwined. He seems to recognize you, and here you are, appearing in a bar that any number of people could have appeared in at the same time.
The drunkenness is kind of overpowered by his intense analytics for a hot moment. Just something doesn't feel right, but it's then quickly shoved to the side, and the jovial kind of. I'm kind of picturing the energy of Thor in the party scene of Age of Ultron.
Oh my god.
Like that kind of energy.
Yeah.
You're right. If we're fated to meet again, then we will meet again. And it looks like the night might be drawing near. I have some business to attend to, as he then makes eye contact with Agatha and then goes to do some things that you do after a celebration.
You shouldn't call her business. You should call her her name.
Well, call this. I do think you should silver up before you make any attempts.
He's not in his 40s. He'll be fine.
Caldus is a young man. It's okay.
Oh my god.
If there's one thing I have, it's Constitution.
Get out of here.
As you walk out the door, Corbin's like, "My Constitution score's higher than yours."
bonus
to be honest.
Roll for Constitution.
I don't have to. It's right there. Minus 16.
Oh my god.
Well, you know what? Mine is 16 because we rolled for stats.
Oh my
And I just rolled really
Oh
high
my
on all of them.
God.
Well, either way, before the end of the night, do any of you want to do anything?
I'm gonna head back. I'm drunk. I slam my mug on the bar. Kind of slip out of my stool. Look at everybody. Sidelong. Get some sleep. You're gonna
When
need it.
Luya stands up, Corbin's going to stand up with their second bottle of gin, take a really deep breath and go, "I'm going to make sure Luya makes it home, oh."
Colette is going to leave and go to the small little town temple to bring in the new year and give blessings to Lucius, and then go home and go to bed.
Okay.
Kyrell, it was so lovely seeing you again. I wish you a very wonderful new year.
I wish you one too. I hope to see you soon, but I know you must be gone.
Yes, it is dangerous work. Stay safe, Kyrell. And she goes off to the temple. But she has on another motive that I'm going to DM you.
Okay.
Right. Anyone else do anything?
Mew gives Kophine back her bow, and then I guess when they're on their way home, Mew's gonna be like, and then according to the book, we throw it, and then it goes boom. It's gonna be great. We're gonna win.
Got it. I'll leave that to you. Just throw forward and not backward towards me.
Yeah.
That's the plan. That's the plan. And then sometimes I'm gonna throw it, and then you're gonna shoot it, and it's gonna boom.
I like the way that you think.
Yeah.
Well, you all go home and you get a good night's rest. Although, for some of you, perhaps the thought of the union between these two great orc tribes might be something to give you pause. The hill tribes and the forest tribes will be unified, and the orcs shall soon march upon Rische. But that's a story for another day. You awaken the next morning, and you go about your business as you prepare for leaving. You tend to the business of another journey. Perhaps get some more supplies for the journey. And the young men and women of the town get one more day's training before they depart for the city of storms. Rische. You go to bed the next night, and you awaken to something harsh. Agatha awakens screaming.
I bolt upright. Agatha, what's wrong? What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. Something's happening. Oh, Caldas, it's terrible. It's
Who's yelling at this time of the morning?
Everyone, awaken! Something's wrong with Agatha.
What's going on? What's going on?
All right, out of my way. I'm a healer. What's going on?
I don't know. She awoke screaming. She's clutching her head.
Are you in pain?
the
Agatha.
rasping of a terrible, terrible being. I hear it in my head.
Take a deep breath. What do you hear? Any words?
She stops and she takes a breath, and she closes her eyes. Then her eyes open wide, and a light emerges from them. Pure amber light. A voice that is not her own speaks in her mouth, and it says the following words. The crunching of 1,000 bones, the sounds of wailing, weeping, groans. The one who pounds the dirt of graves, a would-be god he now enslaves. The crow is free and caged no more, the guardian of its prison door. He freely let the wicked bird depart without a single word. The lot is cast, its meaning dour. Deathbringer rules the coming hour. In sands of time his chilling breath shall chain the ones who cheated death. She then loses consciousness.
Agatha! As he grabs her and holds her close.
Colette
No
runs to
word.
the jail.
You run
Everyone go to the jail. Follow Colette.
You run to the jail, and you see, or I should say, as you run, the town is silent. Not a word is spoken to anyone. There is not a single howl of a wolf, hoot of an owl, chirp of a cricket, which is to be expected, as most of the crickets have likely died. You approach the jail. The door is open. The light is on. And the man the man seated there, Sheer, was his name, is on the ground weeping.
Colette steps over him and just goes straight to the jail. She doesn't have time for this.
The jail cell is empty.
Why did we run here?
This is where the Raven was.
Yes, this is where we took him. And he's gone.
I said we should have killed him. Just, you know. I'll go outside.
Mew's gonna look at Corvin and Kofi and be like, do you think he's gonna want his things back?
Well, too bad.
I'm with Corvin on this one, too bad.
At this point, Colette is gonna go to the weeping guard on the floor.
Oh, I have a feeling I stepped on his leg on the way outside.
What did you do?
He looks up at you, and you see that his tears are tears of joy. My God, he has returned. Kralin told us the talons of death. Born again! Born again!
Colette's gonna smack him.
He told me. Undeterred, he continues. He told me that the one who levels the ground has come, and no man can stop him. He shall raise up the god again, and soon he shall achieve his true ascension once more.
Should I roll to know what god he's talking about?
Sure. Roll a knowledge religion check.
That is a 19.
You suspect he's talking about the Tamp.
There we go.
Well, my friends, it seems that the one that levels is clearly still involved in the Raven's life.
We find him again. We're not leaving him alive.
No, we are not. And she looks down at the pathetic, sniveling, guard. And just... She looks like she wants to hit him, but it's not even worth it. And she walks off in a huff towards her temple.
Right. Well, I suppose that's probably about as good a place to end it as we're going to get.
So, how many of us are seething with rage?
I'm a little upset.
Corvin gets an I told you so. Not only do I get an I told you so, but I get to kill him. So, today's like a 6 out of 10. You guys okay there? Just
Yeah, no, fine. Just have some choice words. It's fine. Thank you all
guys,
so
the
much.
game's over. You can stop being mad.
I'm
No,
ready to kill a
we're
raven. I don't know
invested.
about you.
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm worried about all of those soldiers I
Yeah.
just spent 2 days training. Like, I don't want him murdering more of my kids. Those are my kids now.
Those are my
Oh my god.
Don't worry.
And
babies. Those are my
he's
babies.
out there and he
We're
knows
gonna-
Colette's secret and freaking
Mhm.
Oh.
Don't
I
What'd you
only
get,
have
dude?
one word.
We're gonna do the battle of winter.
Scraw!
We're
Oh,
Guys, I got a plan that's just gonna win this next battle anyway. So you know how in Battle of Winterfell they didn't use the dragons? Well, I can just use Dragon's Breath on Edgar and just have him do bombing runs every turn,
Oh
and it's
my
fine.
god.
We'll
All right,
just stay
everyone.
inside.
Thank you so much for joining us for the first episode in Chapter 4. Crap.
18th, are we gonna level up anytime soon?
What was that?
Or are we gonna level up anytime soon?
I mean, you leveled up fairly recently.
Fairly. It's worth a shot. We're at like
we
a
always,
turning
we always
point.
gotta try. But anyway,
Yeah.
goodbye, y'all. Take care.
Bye.
My goodness gracious. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Mark of a God. Just what in the world's gonna happen next? We may or may not have let a death god go. You know, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Take care, y'all, and as always, may Lucius guide thee. Farewell.